Hey guys, J-Games here again. This is gonna be what if Kisame left the Akatsuki. The mini-series I'm planning, they're mostly done so far. I just need to make sure I like their final videos. But it's just a little filler to get you guys through it, like the Vinland Saga video. In this one, Kisame would leave the Akatsuki after Itachi's death. Now, the way Kisame will leave, first off, in the middle of Itachi's fight with Sasuke, when Tachi is stabbed by Sasuke and he poofs into crows, one of the crows flies out to go see Kisame. And this crow is probably about like a 0.9% shadow clone, I'd say at the maximum. And well, this clone will not last long, but Kisame had already defeated Jugo, Karin, and Sugetsu. The clone would basically tell Kisame is told by the clone, after this, you need to go see Naruto Uzumaki. And with this, Kisame was broken down how Itachi basically revealed the truth about who he was to Kisame. Kisame actually wasn't too upset by this. Kisame wants to world the truth, and Itachi's giving it to him, knowing it'll hurt him. So with this, Kisame hated Itachi for even a second, then forgave him that second after. Kisame would agree because Itachi is his one true friend, and, well, the one person Kisame would quote-unquote love, in my opinion. With this, Kisame would leave, and Itachi's clone disperses. Kisame, before he leaves, was actually going to stomp on the Executioner's blade, breaking it into pieces, then basically throws Akatsuki cloak down. Because Zetsu's not with him, Zetsu is in there. So with this, Kisame would leave his Akatsuki cloak, and throw it over Suigetsu. So yes. As Kisame leaves, he goes to find, well, Naruto. And, well, Samehada can sense a lot of chakra, knowing Naruto's Nine Touch and Cherokee. Kisame is able to be pointed by Samehada in the direction of, well, Naruto. Now, Kisame is aware that Obito's nearby, and Zetsu's not meeting him yet, so Kisame is able to hide out for a bit by using Samehada underwater. As Obito had left with Zetsu, eventually, Team Naruto is met by, well, Kisame. You think he's ready to fight until Kashi points out he's not wearing an Akatsuki vest or jacket. And they actually ask why. He simply says, because Itachi's last wish was for me to, well, ally with Konoha to stop Sasuke. And with this, Kisame kind of broke down Itachi's whole thing, which no one really believed. Until Naruto says, well, he didn't meet Itachi, and Itachi could put a crow in him, but he doesn't know how to get it out. Kisame simply says there must be some sort of, how do I phrase this? Some sort of need or condition to be met. That condition may end up with Sasuke. Kisame simply says, also this before the Pain Assault arc, at this point Kisame is still stronger than Naruto. But for now, basically, Kisame actually offered to make Naruto strong to hopefully awaken the condition. Now, everyone's a bit weird about this, but Kisame simply says he'll train everyone here if they need him to, because he's going to follow his friend's only wish. With this, Kakashi doesn't sense any lies coming from Kisame, even using chakra, like using Sharingan Jutsu doesn't sense any lies. And, well, everyone agrees. Now, this Kisame would train Naruto, because Naruto's an Uzumaki. Well, water release, something that it's not like his nature, but he learned water release from Kisame a lot easier. Kisame kind of trains the entire group, saying that he's called the Tailless Tail Beast for a reason. They're not touching him. So yeah. With this, Kisame is pretty much easily able to defeat all the Konoha 12, but also train them. Or Konoha... It'd be Konoha 13, counting Sai, but Konoha 12 minus Sasuke. So yeah, it's Konoha 12. And, yeah. But, the thing is, Danto's not, no one's really okay with Kisame until Kisame simply says he's willing to sell Samehada back to the Hidden Mist. To prove everything. Samehada will not leave Kisame, so, yeah. But, eventually, well, Kisame is able to leave the Hidden Leaf but stay and light the fire, and he still trains with them. Then we came to Jiraiya's death. Well, Naruto's a bit more depressed, stops training, but is still really strong. At this point, Kisame was able to make Naruto roughly a tailless tailed beast. Kind of like himself. So, yeah. Kisame made Naruto a tailless tailed beast, so I don't think Naruto could beat a tailed beast, maybe like the 1 through 3 tails, maybe he could beat them, but Son Goku and more, he's not winning. So, yeah. So 1 through 3 tails are like his only victories, but now, well, Naruto simply has he has confidence in at least beating Kurama or stalemating him, which Kurama does admit that Naruto may be able to do. So with this, we'd go on to just Naruto figure out everything, and then Senjutsu training. But then Kisame actually still wanted to train Naruto, and he hears about, well, how the Miboku has a large amount of water, really, of like water, and Kisame's like, oh, I can still train up here, but I can unlock Senjutsu. Now, Kisame will not become a Toad Sage, and by any means, he'll be more like Madara, where he can just pull in nature energy to refill his own chakra and be stronger. At the most, Kisame would become somewhat of a Shark Sage. So yeah, which would allow him to basically pull water from the air, and then increase the water from the air. That's kind of what a Shark Sage would make Kisame do. So yeah. And Samehada would be able to pull in nature energy no matter who's using it. Samehada would now choose their wielder based on their relationship instead of chakra. So yeah. So with this, when it came down to Naruto leaving Mount Miboku, Kisame had officially announced he surpassed the Itachi Uchiha. Because Kisame has. He pulls in nature energy, Samehada is now a lot stronger, and, well, he's a lot stronger. Well, he might have surpassed Itachi, but he may have matched Itachi's all-out power now. So yeah. When it came to the Pain Assault arc, well, by no means could Itachi beat Pain, but I think Pain could probably high-diff Itachi. Mid-diff is a bit overzealous, in my opinion. So yeah. But yeah, Kisame now sports not a Hidden Leaf headband, but now he sports a headband that has a mountain on it, but there's an M on the mountain to support Miboku. Kisame made this headband on his own for fun. So yeah. But with this, when they arrive, Kisame is also wearing a different cloak. This cloak would basically have a, kind of has the symbol for, Toad Sage on it. So, yeah. Now, going on, we could go to about we'll probably go to the Pain Assault, where Kisame arrived before Naruto to let Naruto finish training, but also Naruto did finish training a bit early, so he would arrive earlier. He arrived before the Shinra Tensei. But also, Kisame is actually able to kind of just counteract it. He's able to use his own sense of water to push back a lot of Pain's power. It's more like just Yahiko, the Deva path, Yahiko, versus Kisame majority of the time. But also, Kisame is able to hold back the Ashura path at the same time until Naruto arrived. When Naruto arrived, simply put, well, it was now Naruto versus the Deva path, and the other paths that happened to be alive. And at this point, there's really no destroyed Konoha. Since Shinra Tensei was about to be used, well, something different had happened. With Kisame basically referencing that, Kisame kept talking about being a tailed-tailed beast, making Naruto a tailed beast. Well, Naruto decided to draw out tailed beast power to be more like one. As he thinks that if I'm going to be like a tailed beast, I should finish Jiraiya's training to become one with a tailed beast. So Naruto is actually able to draw out roughly about, I'd say the 4 tails form that he had used before, allowing him to actually jump through the Shinra Tensei and slap Yahiko into the ground before it's actually executed, which allows the Shinra Tensei to basically be, stopped. With the Shinra Tensei stopped, now it's actually just Naruto versus the many paths, with Kisame being able to chase out the summonings. Because Naruto did arrive with basically Gamabunta, Gamabunta, Gamaken, and Kisame. Those are the 4, Gamabunta, Gamaken, Naruto, and Kisame. Those are the 4 that are there right now. Kisame's basically killing the summonings pretty easily, actually. The dog that multiplies, Kisame just drowned it. He didn't even hit it, he just drowned it, and it died. Because that summoning works off kinetic energy, I'd assume. So Kisame drowned it, and it didn't really come back. Other ones, Gamaken and Gamabunta, pretty easily handled. And, the path that absorbed chakra. Well, simply put, Kisame just kind of grabbed it and tore it in half before it even had a chance to even react. So, yeah. But now, when it came to Naruto versus Pain, Naruto beat Pain disrespectfully. Before he could even, he beat him before he could shove the rods through his hands. So, yeah. At the best, Naruto got, a rod in his shoulder, and that was about it. And that's because he's being sloppy to draw out Pain, or draw out more attacks to get a variety of what he was going to do. But then Naruto decided to execute water release as Kisame to teach him an entire new release. So, yeah. Kisame was kind of fed up with Naruto only using one nature, being wind. So yeah. Plus, Naruto was taught, like, you can infuse different natures into a Sengun, so maybe a water release Sengun could work. So yeah. So the water release Sengun that Naruto's trying to develop would be very different. But eventually, Pain's defeated. They do find the real Nagato. And when he does die after using the giving life back technique, whatever that was called, I forgot it. Well, Naruto's about to leave him there until Konan actually asks Kisame, "Hey, you have more sense than this. What are you doing?" This just confused Naruto until Kisame turned around and yanked Nagato's eyes out of his body, but left one for Konan, telling her that she should preserve this. And this confuses Naruto. Because he doesn't know, he knows the Rinnegan are powerful, doesn't know what they do. But Kisame then tells Naruto that Madara, or Tobi, the head of the Akatsuki, as he figured out soon because of Itachi, he helped slaughter the Uchiha, and he is Madara Uchiha. Presumably, these are not Nagato's eyes in his assumption. And Konan didn't know all this, he just knew that Tobi was Madara. But this is just different. So using a bit of Itachi's information along Kisame's pretty decent intuition, they find out that if they assume that this is not even Nagato's Rinnegan, it might be Obito's. Which they're not wrong, but they assume it's Madara's, when they're right about that part, but wrong Madara. So yeah. With this, they use Rinnegan and bring it to Konoha. And with this does lead to basically them studying the body, or the Rinnegan. But now Kisame tries to tell Naruto that they're going to go save a tailed beast. Or Jinchuriki. Naruto actually asks what Jinchuriki is this, and then it's the 8 Tails Killer Bee. So Kisame and Naruto head out to go save Killer Bee because Kisame knows that he's a target. And Setsu knows that Kisame is now allied with Konoha, even learned Senjutsu, surpassing Itachi Uchiha, surpassing most paths of pain. So with this they assume that now Kisame with Naruto as a duo, maybe able to probably push him. So Obito decides to actually have Setsu ignore them for now or don't engage in combat, which would lead to Naruto and Kisame arriving to the fight with Killer Bee. And they arrive right as the mountain had kind of exploded with the seals. And right as Sasuke put Bee under Genjutsu trying to use his Mangekyo, suddenly Sasuke would feel a punch coming, or he dodges the punch, only to hear Naruto say, "Frog Kumite." And with this, Sasuke's punched right in the cheek, and almost knocked out from that one punch. Sasuke hit the ground coughing up blood, wondering why Naruto's here. Killer Bee would see Naruto. But then Naruto would execute a Four Tails cloak, appear in front of Jugo, and cut off one of his arms, because Jugo was about to punch Killer Bee from behind. Not Killer Bee, punch Kisame from behind. Kisame pretty easily defeated, so he gets in Karin on his own. But with this does actually shock Killer Bee to find out that Naruto's in Jinchuriki. So, yeah. But with this does end in the defeat of, I would say, ends in the defeat of Taka. And Killer Bee is not captured. So, yeah. But Obito would arrive, fight Kisame and Naruto, and was able to pull out the Taka group. And simply put, Bee would go to the Kumonin watching and telling them, "Don't tell A that I'm here, because this kid's obviously a Jinchuriki, but not a fully trained one. He relies on other abilities. So I'm going to teach him some stuff real quick. Don't tell B, because he'll kill me for aiding another village in this time of war." And they do think that Kisame, that just B's adding another war power, so they don't actually mind it. But they do try to follow his orders to a T. But they don't know what to tell A, so they simply put that the Akatsuki took him. Because, yeah. But they do say that they think it's a clone because Yuki had one tail removed and they can't find that tail, so A assumes that B actually used a substitution to get out of there. So yeah. So with this, A's not as worried about B because he assumes that it was just a fraud. So yeah. And with this on their way to, first of all, there's a 5 o'clock summit called, and it's Tsunade again, that's Tsunade's going to go. But Donzo, with this time of war, decides that Tsunade should not be the one to go. He thinks that she'd be a shitty war commander, so he would use Kodomo Kami and put Tsunade in a Genjutsu. And it's one that he makes everyone think that Madara did it to take out the Kage. So yeah, because because he's the Kage in question until Tsunade's Genjutsu is broken, and he actually deems that Naruto is not allowed back in the Hidden Leaf because of Kisame. But Naruto, B, and Kisame were honestly hanging out. When it came to like the canonical place where B and Kisame fought, they had there a lot earlier, just to give Naruto some tail beast training. So yeah, and here's where Naruto would basically fight against Kurama. Because Naruto never entered a tail state, and he actually has the power to defeat a tailed beast now. He has power to defeat Kurama. Well, when he opened the seal, Minato did actually stop him, but actually asked Naruto, "Are you sure you can defeat the QB?" Naruto chuckles before saying he does not want to hurt him. He does not want to beat him. Which Minato is confused by, but Naruto talking to Minato, kind of having a guess who he is, because B mentioned Minato and how they look similar, even mentioning every detail of Minato, and even Kisame is like, yeah, you're uncannily look like him. So, through intuition, Naruto is like assuming that he may be the son of Minato. But yeah, so Naruto and Minato talk for a bit, but Naruto not being too shocked that the fourth is his father. But eventually, with this, they do decide to open the QB's cage and Minato stays behind. Kurama will charge at Naruto, only for Naruto to use a wind release Rasengan and push Kurama back. But then use a water release Rasengan that would draw in attacks, and, with the flow of the water, it pulls in attacks, pulls it around, and fires it off the opposite direction. Kind of like a redirecting a Rasengan is what it is. So yeah. In Naruto, this kind of ties back to the filler arc in the original Naruto series, where Naruto would see Hinata under a waterfall. And then he ties back with, how water can react with shooting needles of water, then with how Kisame would use water release. And he decides to use the flowing tides of water to redirect attacks. So yeah. Minato's actually intrigued by this, and Naruto made 2 nature release for Sengans. But Naruto's actually able to kind of basically just, push Kurama back in every way, until him and Kurama have a decent relationship. Not just like able to basically push him away and hold him back and talk it out. Basically, that's kind of what I'm saying. They're talking it out. So yeah. After this, it'd go on to it can go on to, I'm gonna say, probably just Kurama and Naruto being friends in a sense, and then Naruto and Kurama merging. Basically giving them the relationship they have in the Fourth Great Ninja War, but not the power. Just yet, at least. The power is coming close. But now, Kisame said they should head to the Five Kage Summit, knowing that Danzo likely is the one that took out Tsunade. So yeah. Now at this, they were at the Five Kage Summit, only to see, A there. And A tries to actually fight Kisame, because Kisame may know about B, but B simply just grabbed A and threw him to the side, telling him, "Hey, yo, bro, chill out." Immediately, B mentions that he made Naruto a perfect Jinchuriki, which annoyed A or aiding another ninja village, but immediately the two guys that told A what happened, like, yeah, Lord B kind of told her to shut our mouths. So A gave them a quick beating, and then just yelled at B, told him to go inside. And Naruto would follow suit with Kisame. So yeah. As they go inside, simply put, but Tsunade's wondering, that's what I mean. I was wondering why Naruto's here. For how he heard about it. But Naruto simply put that, one, Danzo possesses a Rinnegan, and the Hidden Leaf now is a Kage, which he thinks everyone here should know. Now basically no one here knows what a Rinnegan is, till Naruto mentions what it is, how it belonged to Madara's. Madara's Kekkei Genkai, and evolved Sharingan. Everyone's like yelling at Danzo about this. Naruto even mentions that Danzo now under suspicion of the one incapacitating Tsunade, which just confused everyone. And how do you know this? Now, Naruto, he learns chakra really well in Sage Mode, and he fought Sasuke recently in Sage Mode. Actually, he one-shot Sasuke in Sage Mode. And so he says, he's using Senjutsu to identify where Danzo was and what side of the room. That's how he's here. Danzo's his left one, his right eye, gives off the chakra of the Mangekyo Sharingan. So, either Danzo took it Mangekyo Sharingan, or is just, somewhat hiding one. Which does actually, shock everyone there, that Danzo possesses Sharingan, but now Danzo realizes he's been outed. He even tried to use it on Naruto, tried to use Kodomatsu Kami, but immediately, it's dispersed. Kodomatsu Kami being dispersed on Naruto, Danzo realized that he can't use it on Naruto and just had his two Anbu attack Naruto. But for the first time, well, not for the first time, but May would actually see that Kisame did turn over a new leaf for Konoha. As when Yamanaka tried to use Manjutsu Jutsu on Naruto, Kisame just honestly had Samehada eat him, like basically bite him in half. And then when Todone Aburame tried to use bugs on everyone in the room, Naruto simply just used a giant water release Sengun to absorb all of the bugs in the room, and then shoot them back at Todone. While they're covering Todone, Danzo, and Fu's corpse at least. But this does end in Danzo actually losing an arm, and happened to be his one good arm, until he used Izanagi, where they all saw that he had more than one Sharingan. But suddenly, Danzo's kicked right in the chest by a very angry Sasuke, who has a Susanoo activated, seeing Danzo's body. And with this, Sasuke got training from Tobi to keep up with Naruto, who's been training with Kisame. Because, simply put, Naruto's now perfect in Jinchuriki, and Sasuke needs an edge on Naruto, who one-shot him previously. Tobi did train him, and not send him out on random missions. Leaving Sasuke to currently have an EMS. So yeah. This leads to Sasuke versus Danzo, and Sasuke pretty easily beats Danzo with really no difficulty, because EMS Sasuke. But now that Danzo also had tired out his Kodomatsu Kami recently, but I'll try to use it again when you have it broken, so Danzo's low on chakra. Then use Izanagi, which does take up a bit of chakra itself. So yeah. But now, simply put, when Danzo tries to actually ask the other Kage for help, Naruto just simply told Kisame, "You can do as you please, but I'm gonna fight Sasuke." Immediately, Kisame just had Water Needle, as he just shot Danzo. He tried to dodge, only to have a much smaller needle shoot through his skull, and then through his brain, killing him. And then May saw actually how strong Kisame is, and offered him a place back at the Hidden Leaf. Kisame says after this, he's probably going to live in Mount Myoboku. It's the only place where he knows that lies would never happen. And the Hidden Mist is too, you know how it is. And May says she respects that. So yeah. And with this, so we get to Jugo and Karin would attack at Kisame. But Naruto actually jumped out of the way, grabbing Karin, pulling her down, and redirecting her body using Uzumaki Chain to break through Sasuke's Susanoo. He told Karin that he's also an Uzumaki. And Karin never heard Naruto's full name, she just knows that he's Naruto the Kyuubi no Jinchuriki. And for the first time, she would hear Naruto's entire name, Naruto Uzumaki. But then out loud, he even says his real full name, Naruto Uzumaki Namakate. He's the son of the fourth Hokage. Really, Onoki he wanted the fade immediately after hearing that entire name. But Aiden says that Naruto's a perfect Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi. No one here stands a chance at this point. Because Killer Bee was almost his equal, and Killer Bee even admitted to A on their walk inside that Naruto surpassed him. So, yeah. Also, Killer Bee kind of just... I assume Killer Bee could likely be an equal to Nagato, or a near equal. And Kisame is kind of stronger than he is in canon. Now, also fighting two perfect Jinchuriki for a few days for training. Kisame now kind of equals out Nagato at his full power. Which is a very shocking statement I'd never say, but still. But, yeah. Naruto versus Sasuke. Sasuke trying to use his Susanoo, perfect one to surpass Naruto. But Naruto's using just KCM and outspeeding Sasuke's every move, and Sasuke is not practiced a perfect EMS. No one here has it. And Obito's aware of perfect EMS abilities, but doesn't know how to use them. He doesn't have one. And he only has one Rinnegan so far in his possession, or at least he knows where one is. The Hidden Leaf has one as well, but he doesn't know where they're hiding it. And Zetsu can't really look for it all over because the Hidden Leaf is in high security now with Sentry Ninjutsu looking for Naruto and Kisame because they've been supposedly banned. And they're trying to get him back. But yeah. So, with really no way to get a Rinnegan and still lacking power, this does lead to Tobi being a bit on guard, but still. But Naruto versus Sasuke, back to that I said, Naruto's pretty much beating Sasuke through the roof. And Naruto's combining Senjutsu with the raw strength and multiple jutsu he learned from Kisame. And she's actually able to punch through Sasuke's Susanoo, and nail a punch from Sasuke's chest, knocking the wind out of him, and then, putting him in water prison jutsu. Sasuke tried to use Amaterasu on the bubble, but then Naruto simply just used used Shaolin Jutsu, then used a clone to use, a water Sengon absorbing Amaterasu. But then the clone eventually had died with the water prison dispersing Amaterasu, but somewhere else in the sky, basically. Maybe having Amaterasu fall down, But, yeah. But Sasuke can't really escape the water prison jutsu because Naruto isn't letting up, even if Amaterasu's going to land on him. So, yeah. But eventually, well, because Obito is still there to claim the 4th Grand Ninja War, it leads to Kisame and B versus Obito. So, yeah. Kisame had somewhat learned that it's probably Mangekyo ability of of Kamui. So Kisame tries to surpass it at some point. But now here's an interesting occurrence. On their way there, Naruto heard about him being banned from the Hidden Leaf and would try to use, well, a clone to contact them. And as soon as Kisame and Killer Bee attack Obito, and Kisame then even yells this is a Mangekyo Sharingan ability, a certain someone decides to, help. This certain someone being Kakashi Hatake, followed by Sakura Haruno, and, well, I say Sakura Haruno, Kakashi Hatake, and I'll give it probably Mike Guy, because, Kisame. And now because Kisame's a lot stronger, Guy does actually know his name. So yeah, I was trying to think of who would be there. But yeah, so Kakashi is able to actually assess what Mangekyo Sharingan ability, knowing it's Kamui, or at least being able to make your body intangible. And do a bit of deduction from listening. Kakashi already figured out what Mangekyo Sharingan's ability might be, and as soon as Kisame tried to use one of his own attacks, because that would pass through Obito, Kakashi quickly used Mangekyo Sharingan to Kamui it right at Obito, nailing him in the back, destroying a good portion of his cloak too, and his mask. So with this Obito to the ground, realizing that Kakashi was there, Kakashi quickly figured out the ability, and then told Sasuke, Obito is not Madara Uchiha. Sasuke's like, what do you mean he's not Madara Uchiha? Quickly, Sasuke then heard Kakashi then announced, well, Tobi, or Madara, as Obito Uchiha, former member of his Team 7. Now this, Sasuke realized he's been lied to, and even Naruto opens up that Itachi was the one that told Kisame to go to the Hidden Leaf, because he was ordered to do this, but also Obito assisted in killing the entire clan, so Sasuke is intentionally helping the other man who murdered the entire clan. Sasuke is frozen in place, and before he can even react again, he's just punched in the chest by Naruto since he escaped. But yeah, he escaped kind of just using Obito's Kamui, who draw him out to... A few things happen off scene, but yeah. But yeah, Sasuke is now knocked out because he was off guard. Karin already was on Naruto's side from the start once he said that his name was Naruto Uzumaki. And Jugo was just beating up at Kisame to the point where he's not waking up yet. So Getsu's currently fighting Chojuro and Mei, where they're both destroying him, so yeah. So yeah, now with this, Sakura is able to basically grab Danzo, and Sasuke is unconscious, and Zetsu tries to grab Danzo's body, but Kisame is the one that puts a stop to that real quick, by actually just emitting Senjutsu at Zetsu. Kisame is familiar with Onmyoboku Senjutsu, so the way he's doing it is actually turning white Zetsu to stone, which Black Zetsu can't have, so he has to separate quickly, but Sakura is able to actually grab Danzo's arm and one of his eyes, then escape. And this puts the end of the 5 Hokage Summit right here. And with this, Sasuke is brought to the Hidden Leaf prison and kept there. And, well, Tsunade simply woke up and, well, the medical corps had come to a conclusion about the Rinnegan and how much chakra it takes, everything. And the only candidate to have the Rinnegan would probably be Naruto. But Naruto has a better idea, which would intrigue us, well, Tsunade. Naruto simply says, well, he doesn't really want a Rinnegan, he doesn't really need a Kekkei. And then she says, what about someone else? Kisame, Itachi, Kisame, Karin, Sasuke. What about one of them? But then Naruto had actually another idea real quick. Because he realized something about Danzo, as, well, Kisame isn't teaching Naruto a few things, as Kisame kind of wants another Itachi, but a different one at the same time. So yeah. So Naruto's a bit like Kisame has Naruto's intuition on like a high end. Naruto mentioned how Danzo's Hashirama Cell arm was useful, and suggested that they take the cells from that and give it to Kakashi, giving him a full functional Mangekyo Sharingan user, but also you should give cells to, well, Sasuke. And they're like, why would you do this? And he says, one, it could give Sasuke possible Senjutsu, and if he gets a Rinnegan, then, well, Senjutsu plus Rinnegan would probably equal a really strong Kekkei. And, yeah. When Sasuke wakes up, they offer him the ultimatum to help him fight Obito if he's given a Rinnegan. And he agrees. He gives Hashirama cells on a Rinnegan to amp his chakra a bit, and this Sasuke can withstand the Rinnegan probably as well as Nagato did. And Kakashi now has an EMS that gives him a lot more chakra. So yeah, one of his arms, they kind of added Hashirama cells to his own DNA, making his arm a lot more pale. But still, now his EMS, he doesn't need to cover his Sharingan. And basically gives him EMS abilities so he doesn't pass out and wouldn't go blind. So, yeah. Now, Naruto also does train his, KCM abilities with Kurama, his Mindscape, allowing him to actually, learn KCM 2 on his own terms and not in the Ninja War. Because of this, we probably go on to about, I'd say we can go on to just the war probably just happening, for one. With the war happening, it's not really too different from the actual start of it, I'd say. The reason I do that is because, first, it's just a lot of training happening in Konoha. And, first Kabuto would, resurrect the Akatsuki that he needs to do, but also show Obito Madara's corpse. And Obito only has one Rinnegan, so that's a thing. But still, a few people decide that, Naruto should be held off for Killer Bee for a bit. It's more like they're holding them off as, a secret weapon. But Kisame's the one on the battlefield now. Kisame also had a lot more training, and they had a lot more Hashirama cells. So to amp a tailed beast, give him the chakra of a man who could stop all nine-tailed beast. Again, Kisame keeps getting amps from Konoha because he'd be a useful shinobi. But also, just for the hidden miss can patch up their relationship with Kisame, they give him a scroll of a lot of their own forbidden jutsu, and Kisame to learn it in the meantime. So for the, Great Ninja War, where this is the beginning of it, where it's Gaara and Tamari's platoon versus the resurrected Kage. Kisame would arrive and actually defeat, he's able to actually push Mu into the ground, and Mu's body won't even move anymore, but also Gengetsu. Kisame himself is actually alone is able to defeat Gengetsu with Samehada's help of breaking Genjutsu. And when it came to Kisame versus the third Raikage, Naruto simply put that Kisame could likely stalemate the third Raikage, but not defeat him. So Naruto was one to arrive and actually one-shot the third Kage. Not Kage, the third Raikage. And Killer Bee himself was also there, pretty much just chilling, but Nagato and Itachi were being held back by Bee a bit. And they didn't really, Naruto pointed out where Itachi's body was, and so we said that Sasuke's heading there right now. And Kisame started to head there as well. And then they revealed that Gengetsu being sealed had that giant oil clone that turned to gold, because of Gaara, and it then exploded, but Naruto took care of Gengetsu once he got back up. But, where else should we go? Where else? I forgot a lot of the Great Ninja War, I just realized that. Possibly just Madara versus the 5 Kage, the body of Madara. We can likely go to that, and, yeah. So we came to the 5 Kage. Naruto went there instead, because he's now surpassed all of them, and, also has a lot more chakra than usual. But Sasuke himself was actually able to seal Itachi, and then it led to Naruto versus Madara. Or likely Madara is not here yet, he's fighting the Shinobi platoon. But can awaken his own Rinnegan, which he could do now, yeah. So, not Madara versus the Kage, it's Madara dropping the meteor. When it came to that, Naruto and KCM 2's with a lot more chakra than anyone else here, kind of jumped up and destroyed one of the meteors all on his own, while then Gaara and Oiki stopped the other one with a lot more energy preserved. So yeah. But Kisame came back after hearing some of Itachi's words and stopping Nagato all on his own. Bee just left and fought Blue Bee. So yeah, now Mu and Madara versus Naruto. But now Kisame and Sasuke arrive as well. Naruto and Sasuke versus Madara, Kisame versus Mu, who's now being possessed by Kabuto. And this fight between Mu and Kisame just ends in Kisame being given a sealing jutsu, which he's actually able to use because he was given a scroll of forbidden jutsu by the hidden miss, which he uses to completely seal off Mu, which shuts down another body. And Naruto and Sasuke are able to actually stalemate Madara pretty well, because he has 2 Rinnegan and he has infinite chakra basically. Well, then things happen. Madara escapes. Now versus fight Kage. Naruto and Sasuke arrive there and fight Madara even more. But now he's using wood release, which is a lot harder than I thought it would be. And yeah, Madara with wood release is pretty broken. It's a pretty broken ability. But we're gonna go to another fight, being Kakashi versus Obito. Now, Obito only has one Rinnegan in his face, but Kakashi is basically an endless Kamui. So any one of Obito's abilities, like being like the giant statue, like ghetto statue, immediately Kakashi just Kamui'd a good portion of his body. Like he appeared behind it and just Kamui'd away probably a few of his arms, which Obito didn't expect, and then saw Kakashi's arm look a lot more pale than the rest of the skin. But also they took one of Danzo's arms. Quickly, this made Obito realize that they probably put Zetsu in Kakashi's body, or Madara or Hashirama cells in Sasuke and Kakashi's body to give him the abilities to use an endless Kamui. So with this Obito and Kakashi fight, with Kakashi being able to, he has a stronger Kamui ability, while Obito has the more convenient one. So yeah. So this Kakashi and Obito fight, Kakashi's the one able to hit Obito the most with Guy's help. So yeah. But now back to Naruto and Sasuke versus Madara. As they fight, well, one, Kisame kind of got all the 5 Kage out of there, and then B began giving them a bit of chakra to heal them. And Naruto pretty just still, well, actually, Sasuke's the one destroying the wood release using Amaterasu. Then Naruto runs through it and punches down Madara. He'll bring Amaterasu all over his body and then drop pieces of it on Madara by dropping off his tailed beast cloak. So Madara's body's now put in Amaterasu that's never ending, and yeah. And well, eventually when Kisame's out of here, he decides to actually try and stop the, what was it called? The reanimation jutsu. He jumps and tries to stop the reanimation jutsu. Because, well, simply put, this might stop Madara. Because Madara's fighting Naruto and Sasuke, who are obviously stronger than him, at this point as a duo, Madara has no chance to try to break the reanimation jutsu. Kisame would arrive to fight Kabuto, and Kabuto knows he'd lose. But now, with Itachi telling Kisame how to stop it, Kisame wouldn't really, he can't use his Nagi, but instead he can beat Sensen and Kabuto. And he would do just that. After finishing beating Kabuto, well, he is then given a scroll by Jugo, and they then use the scroll to resurrect, Orochimaru out of Kabuto's body. Because, well, Madara doesn't resurrect himself, but, how do you phrase this? Some reanimations are stronger than most, and Orochimaru is the one to stop them. So Orochimaru kind of finishes the sticking around reanimations, and then Naruto and Sasuke are able to keep Madara from canceling out his own reanimation, and they're only in KCM 2. But now Naruto and Sasuke basically having to save the world, and they do stop Kaguya. Black Zetsu is still around. But when Black Zetsu tries to basically escape by latching onto Naruto and Sasuke's body, trying to get one of them, Naruto got him and Sasuke pretty high in the air, then Sasuke would use Chibaku Tensei on Black Zetsu. And Sasuke's, well, it's not as big as the moon, but it's able to actually go behind it and kind of just stay in its shadow. Tsunade would see this, though, and he kind of just ignores it. Also, the Gedo statue is damaged, and it never got all tailed beasts. Like, it's missing the 8 and 9 tails. Kinkaku and Genkaku were pretty easily taken down by Darui still, so, yeah. So, yeah. And Obito is defeated by Kakashi at this point, because convenience couldn't really beat raw power. And it's endless raw power, while Obito does have endless power as well. He actually had no help anymore from Zetsu or reanimations. Plus, it was Guy and Kakashi versus him, and one has nearly endless chakra, and the other one has endless raw might. So Obito stood no chance at this point. So Obito's defeated, and, well, Zetsu had no chance, or Black Zetsu kills near Naruto and Sasuke trying to get to Madara. I would say that likely Obito's arrested. So, yeah. Obito's arrested, and they're actually able to take his Rinnegan. So, when they take his Rinnegan, I would say that they could likely find someone to use, like, Kabuto needs to repent he had sent a beating into him, which likely would not happen from Kisame, likely just a beating that knocks out Kabuto. Kabuto's likely just given a Genjutsu, or put in a Genjutsu with Sasuke that makes him use I think it's the Samsara of Heaven Jutsu, actually, that would bring everyone back, and they use Kabuto to use that, because it's like his version of repenting is just him dying. Which no one really minds, and Orochimaru doesn't have this relationship with Kabuto, because of the new Orochimaru. So, yeah. So Kabuto is the one to bring back all the dead shinobi from this war, and they do mourn him, or Orochimaru does, at least, somewhat, but still. It's kind of counteracting a statement from before, but he buries him and gives him a respectful funeral. And, yeah, so there's no Kaguya in the story, because I don't like Kaguya. So there's no Kaguya, there's 2 moons now, but one overshadows the other. What else? Zetsu is the only one sealed, not Kaguya. She's still sealed on the moon. And, yeah. Which now brings the events of Naruto the Last, where if I mean, like in Kaguya would emerge in this movie. Today we're sending down pieces of the moon where Kaguya is supposed to be sealed, which would reveal the Ten Tails statue, or at least Kaguya's husk, but also destroying both the moons to do this, which would release Black Zetsu. Black Zetsu actually used the Tensei gun, like the bodies of so many different Hyuga, and because you can't really get Toneri. Toneri's pushing him off. So using the multiple bodies of the Hyuga, the tons of energy from the Tensei gun system, wherever that blue orb was, or the bright orb, that's able enough energy to direct Kaguya, but not as strong as she was before. And Naruto and Sasuke are a lot stronger than before. Like, this Naruto had a lot more time to train KCM and not awaken powers mid-war. These are actually honed powers. So he's probably nearly as strong as Hokage Naruto, the point where he actually is a Kage right now. So yeah. So his intuition made him a Kage, the fact that Kisame trained his intuition. So yeah. When Kaguya comes back, Sasuke is actually, willing to fight Kaguya himself, because Naruto and him kind of awakened Hagoromo's power before. As they awakened Hagoromo's power just through actually training at some point, and they both passed out. And they didn't lose their arms. Because, Naruto's currently stronger than Sasuke, but by a long shot. He's trained to be stronger than Sasuke. Kisame would be strong as a member of the Akatsuki at this point, and Obito is just in the Hidden Leaf prison, but does get visitation and probation for like a week and a half or so, then has to go back to prison for a few months. So yeah. So Obito is now currently blind. They end up taking it, they took his Rinnegan from him. And the entirety of Orochimaru was not given his own freedom on Kisame's request. So Kisame lives in the Hidden Mist now, and it's actually, instead of Totoro being Kage, it's Kisame. Kisame has a good goal, so yeah. Plus, Kisame actually was hinted at to help Zabuza with Yagura, who's a bad Kage or bad Kage. So yeah, so currently Kisame is the one who's the Mizukage right now, not Totoro. But Totoro's his advisor, and he's training him. Actually, the creaking was my table. My bad. It almost fell over, and I'd get that. But yeah. So Mizukage currently Kisame, and Kisame's training Chojuro to become the next one. At this point, Chojiro's also earning the power of Swordsman of the Mist. So yeah. But yeah, back to just Kaguya emerging in Toneri thing. Kaguya is able to try to fight Toneri, which leads to not Kaguya winning or Toneri winning. But when Naruto and Sasuke arrived, Toneri is basically panting covered in blood, and Kaguya was panting herself, but not bloodied. Toneri's able to fend her off for a bit, but Naruto simply just grabbed out Toneri's eyes, and then Hinata would also be on the moon and grab Hanabi and put her eyes back in. But now it's basically just one Toneri being useless, but Black Zetsu trying to basically pin out Naruto and Sasuke as the ones that prevented her resurrection for the last few years. But now back to my previous statement. They awakened Hagoromo's powers a lot earlier, which leads to them having trained Six Paths power, something that never left their bodies. Where Six Paths power is now permanently stapled into them. They earned their own Six Paths powers. To phrase this better. They used Hagoromo's chakra to learn to have their own Hagoromo's chakra. They realized what it is quickly, and got it in their own bodies by sharing DNA. Being it blood, basically. So, Six Paths chakra stacked with Six Paths chakra, stacked with Sage with Senjutsu, which Sasuke had learned from Kisame, and such, because Kisame recommended it. Yeah. Naruto and Sasuke are basically six paths, to the point where they're both basically Hagoromo. Alright, what was I? think I was with Toneri and everything. So Toneri is basically blind now because Naruto tore out his eyes, not to replace them. And Naruto and Sasuke are pretty much now, so they've done six paths. They're basically Hagoromo, but they're basically two Hagoromos, but then times two. And Kisame is not really involved in this arc, but Kisame is honestly just chilling back in the Hidden Mist. So yeah. Because of the Hidden Mist, with Kisame leading it, and his ideals, they do have a pretty much good relationship with most villages, allowing them to be pretty good secure and everything. And Naruto is currently, say, the 6th Hokage right now, it's like Kakashi. So, yeah. But Naruto and Sasuke are pretty much able to defeat Kaguya all on their own with really no difficulty, and that's individuals. But Sasuke kind of ended up restoring both the moon using his own jutsu, then Naruto, and then just destroyed Kaguya's attacks, and then they both pump strike her in the chest and seal her with really no difficulty. So yeah. Then about like 10 years passes, Naruto's like 31, Sasuke's like 32, and they both have two kids. Or Naruto's two kids, Sasuke has one. And yeah. And Kisame is married to Mei because Kisame. So yeah. And currently Kagura, the apprentice of, or the only 7 ninja swordsman available right now, is currently the student of Kisame. And Chojuro, and Suigetsu is actually one of Kisame's now 2 advisors, one being Chojuro. So yeah. And Boruto, well, due to Naruto always being able to teach him, Naruto does have 2 clones at all times doing it, and a lot of his clones do his work because he has a lot more chakra to expend. And everything in his 6-path chakra, basically allowing one of his clones to have the energy of a full-grown human times 1,000. So if Naruto's not able to train Boruto, it's usually one of his friends doing it. Plus, Sasuke has really no reason to atone as much as he did before, so a lot of his work in those 10 years was his atonement. Now that he's in his 30s, he settles down at home with Sakura. So, yeah. And Naruto's 2 advisors, like Kisame does, one being Shikamaru, other being Sasuke. So Sarada already has, unlocked her Tsutomu Sharingan, and he and Sasuke would train Boruto and Sarada as a group. Mitsuki has been born, and has known Boruto since he was a little kid, so, yeah. And Log is actually the Sasuke of the story, basically. So, yeah. But now on to, I would say, probably Shin Uchiha. And this one, well, with Shin wearing a Akatsuki cloak, Kisame is actually hunting him down. Chojo's kind of filling in for everyone right now. Kisame is kind of hunting him. And for Chakra, Shin is like a moderate level threat because he keeps like 15 Sharingan activated at all times. He's like a moderate level threat with chakra reserves. And Kisame is the same thing. His chakra reserves make him probably almost... Naruto and Sasuke are basically, well... Naruto has more chakra than the Ten Tails at this point, and that's him as an individual. But then combine, or basically use the Ten Tails and a chakra, and then combine, or multiply that with Nine Tails chakra, and then you get Naruto's reserves. Naruto can basically probably stop an army of Ten Tails on his own, same for Sasuke. So, yeah, Sasuke just doesn't have a Tailed Beast amp. He has a Renegon amp, and a six path amp. So yeah, the Shin Uchiha arc is pretty easily handled by Sasuke and by Kisame though, and Kagura helped him because Kagura has like first appearance with a hardcore battle. So yeah, in the Hidden Mist arc, that arc relatively does not happen. It's just a good field trip, and the rebellious group wants to bring back the Blood Mist Village. Kisame gonna send them all to prison, and they're still there. Plus, like, the one guy with the mask and everything, then that one girl, like, the Hoshigaki member of that group, Kisame basically executed him because he's a disgrace to their clan. Kisame executed him on clan orders, that's about it. So, yeah. Kisame has the authority to execute all of them, but only executed one of them on clan duty, basically. But, yeah. Then Momoshiki. When that happens, it's basically just the tuning exams. Because Naruto has a lot more Tailed Beast training and was made a Tailed Beast by training with Gyuki constantly and fighting Gyuki. When it came to that giant Tailed Beast bomb that was coming at them, plus Sasuke had never fought them before, it was like Log had encountered them at some point by Sasuke opening portals for him to explore for a bit. Log was barely able to escape, but still, Sasuke doesn't know what portals. He opens a portal to the dimension he can sense Log in. Sasuke's sensory is extra dimensional at this point. Only dimensions he's been to. But yeah, Log barely escaped from that fight. When it came to the giant tail beast Momoshiki let down, but Kisame just jumped and absorbed the majority of the chakra in it, as Naruto would then use his own supercharged tail beast bomb to launch it far off in the distance to an empty, vacant area of land. So, yeah. So Naruto's never taken by Momoshiki. In fact, Naruto actually kind of just appeared behind Kinshiki, almost killed him, Sasuke finished off the job, and then Naruto and Kisame basically just... Naruto like supercharged just Kisame giving him a nine-tailed cloak, like an actual like nine-tails cloak. Like gave him a chakra, like the red cloak, and it's now just 9 tails, making him kind of a pseudo Jinchuriki, basically. And with this Kisame and Naruto combined, are actually able to relatively defeat Momoshiki with minimal difficulty. So, yeah. And, yeah. So after that, Momoshiki was never the fused version, and there's really, like, Momoshiki cannot attach a karma to Naruto with how brutally he was killed. So, yeah. Not even Kisame, because the karma went on to, like, the curse, like, the cloak, and Kisame dropped it, and the karma was just turned to dust. There's really no karma Boruto. Boruto has his Jogan and stuff, but because Naruto is basically tons of 6 paths chakra, Boruto is more 6 paths than, 6 paths chakra allow him to have similar karma seal effects, but there'd be no Borushiki or stuff like that. It's just a lot of chakra and a lot of regeneration. That's all he really has. So Naruto's the same. She has a lot of 6 paths chakra. That's how she has a Sharingan this early. And Boruto never needed to cheat because he has good teachers around him. Boruto actually won the tuning exams relatively easily. So, yeah. And for Sarada, she barely beat Boruto. Not barely beat Boruto. She barely lost to him. Well, she's learned Chidori for like the last 4 or 5 years, so she's doing pretty good. But, what else? We really want to Delta attacking Konoha, but Platis Kawaki is basically Naruto's adopted son. Oh, well, one. Naruto's been training Kawaki, so is Boruto. And so is Kawaki. Boruto's been training Kawaki with the help of Naruto, and then same for Log, who's actually on a break now because there's no Tatsuki in other dimensions. He's explored all these Kado Explorer, even brought Sasuke to the 10 Tails that he found, which Sasuke absorbed a lot of his chakra, becoming almost a pseudo 10 Tails Jinchuriki. But, yeah. Pause. But, yeah. So, Kawaki basically is a Delta level threat at this point with all the training he's been given. And Naruto kind of trained him how Kisame trained him, where Naruto's kind of discovering his chakra natures and having him, use the ones that are closest to it. Kisame taught Naruto water release because Uzumakis are supposed to be good at it. Naruto's nature is wind from Minato, but still he had a good affinity for water despite it not being shown. So, yeah. Also, Naruto canonically has every jutsu in Konoha, or at least ones that aren't given by birth. He has every jutsu in Konoha, such as Shadow Release, which is actually a taught jutsu. It's just more affinity for one clan. Anyone can learn it. And for mind transfer jutsu, some abilities are birthed by clan, but the entire jutsu itself is, it can be learned. It's just a lot harder to learn if you're not in this specific clan. So, yeah. But, going on, we go on to probably just Delta fighting Kawaki, and she's actually impressed by Kawaki's skill now, which actually leads to him actually killing her. So, yeah. She escaped because of stuff. But then Kashin Koji, and Naruto sensed him pretty well, then found him, arrested him. Amato joined Konoha. Kashin Koji is now an ally of Konoha. And when it came to him about to die, well, Naruto stopped that real quick. He has a flying Raijin seal on him, because I'm going to utilize every single jutsu, or I'm trying to at least. Kashin Koji's never dies to Jigen's hand. In fact, one when it came to Boro, Naruto won when he first fought Jigen. He actually just fought him off and Jigen retreated. Boro went to go try to kidnap Kawaki. Sarada was there with Boruto at the time. Kawaki was out shopping. Yet Boruto and Sarada pretty easily kill Boro. Boruto all he honestly did was just flex his chakra on Boro's giant form and just crush it before anyone else could arrive. And then Sarada just cut it to pieces with Chidori. So yeah, now when it came to Kashin Koji fighting against Jigen, and then Jigen evolved to Ishiki, Naruto arrived. Naruto's basically constantly amped by 6 paths chakra, and Kurama being 10 tails, but yeah. But Naruto and KCM2 is more of a fair fight, versus Jigen to the point where, or Ishiki now, where KCM2 Naruto is basically equal to Ishiki in almost every single way, besides chakra reserves, where Naruto excels. Well, this is more of a fight of endurance, and Naruto won that barely. So yeah. But in the fight, though, Naruto's basically out of energy. Or not out of energy, but he's panting. Jigen, or Ishiki, is now defeated. But as Naruto's best tries to seal him, doesn't have energy to seal away Jigen, or at least seal away his chakra. But Sasuke arrived, and simply put, he goes to a whole different dimension. The heavy gravity dimension. With this, Sasuke is able to seal away Ishiki and keep him there. So, yeah. But also, Naruto is actually able to plant a ton of seals around that. Once like a few days pass, his chakra are back, he just plants an entire seal around the dimension. However, if Ishiki were to escape, the entire dimension would be erased from existence. How many seals there are that explode. So, if Ishiki were to even escape, he'd be killed. So, yeah. Like in this one, I think I said that they sealed Kaguya. No, she's dead. So, yeah. But, yeah, so like Setsu. And honestly, in this one, Koto's not a threat, considering he's as strong as Jigen, or stronger than Jigen, not stronger than Ishiki, as it's been said that Jigen, not Ishiki. Those are two different characters, basically. Or in terms of power, they're two different characters. So, yeah. So, honestly, Boruto's not really a hard arc. Kisame just made Naruto stronger, and that strength was happening a lot at once. So, yeah. So with this, we probably go on to just the end of the story now. So because Boruto is not really a hard series anymore, like Damon and Ida were a different thing. But I have a few ways I could probably bypass Damon's ability, being probably flying Raijin itself if you get close to him or able to touch him. Ida, if you're not Satsuki, you're naturally resistant to them. To like her and Naruto and Sasuke are basically six-path chakra, which they have from Hagoromo. They restored that in themselves by actually becoming Hagoromo, but not in the appearance, just in power. So, let's just be like power in their DNA. They're immune to Ida's abilities. Ida could likely be killed by them. Damon, not a threat to anyone here, actually. They can trap him in a whole different dimension if they need to. Yeah, the circuit ends because no one's really a threat, because there's a few ways to end it. I hope you guys enjoyed. Adios.